What's going on, guys? Jolts here, back with another build video, and today we're going to be going over Light Warrior Amara for level 65. This build can solo all Mayhem 10 content in the game, and it's very similar to the older build, but I did include some more weapons. Now, this build can be used with Phase Cast or Phase Grasp. It's really your choice on what you want to use. For bossing, I do recommend Phase Cast, and for mobbing, I recommend Phase Grasp. Anyways, to download the save for yourself, I will link it in the description, and that save is going to be in PC format, so it's only going to work on PC. As for console, sorry guys, there's no way to convert PC saves to console at the moment, but maybe in the future we'll get that option. Okay, let's jump into the build. For the annoyance, you want to focus on consecutive hits because Amara is going to be spreading damage over time all over the battlefield, and that means you can stack your guns to a full 200% damage bonus. Now, a lot of people think you have to stack it using the gun, but you don't. You can stack the consecutive hits annoyance with any source of damage. It does say on the card if you miss, it will reset it, but that is not true. It only resets if you don't do damage for 1 full second. Alright, first up we have the Light Show. This thing puts out ridiculous damage and is kind of the reason for the name of the build. This thing is great for mobbing and bossing. Now, if you don't have DLC, I do recommend the Monarch. This thing is a beast for mobbing and bossing. Put it in bipod mode and you can stack the consecutive hits really fast. We have the Complex Root. This thing is awesome because it does spread around with the Indiscriminate skill, so you can mob and boss really well with it. Now, I do want to point out, if you have splash damage radius on your class mod or area of effect damage on your artifact, that will cause this gun to explode around the whole map and down you automatically. It is a known bug, so hopefully it gets fixed soon. We have the Backburner. It's a no-brainer for a launcher for second wins and for bossing. It's one of the best launchers in the game. We have the Old God, and not only is it a tanky shield, but it will buff elemental damage by 20%. Now, if you don't have DLC, I do recommend the Transformer. That is a tanky shield too, with it being Hyperion and will keep you alive. Ideally, for the shield annoyance, get your action skill in elements. We have the P-Nade, and Amara is not really great at grenade damage, so we're just going for utility. So this will debuff the enemy by 20%. As for the annoyant, go for your action skill in elements. Amara doesn't have many good class mods, so Facehugger is going to be our choice. As for the skills, it really doesn't matter what you roll on it. Anima and Clarity really aren't going to help the build a whole lot, so I just went for Conflux. That means I can spread damage over time better, and stack my consecutive hits annoyant, and also activate Harmageddon. Harmageddon's going to increase your damage by 5% per unique status effect. That means you can get a little more damage out of this. For the artifact, the Pearl of Knowledge. This will be a flat 90% damage bonus all the time. Ideally, try to roll mag size on it because 62% is a lot. If you don't have DLC, I do recommend a Victory Rush. Some more light shows, we have Flippers, and now the Flipper is a really good SMG. This sprays out 9 bullets for the cost of 1 ammo, and it will mob and boss extremely well. Now, if you don't have DLC, don't worry about getting a replacement for the Flipper. You have so many other options in your build. More Monarchs, and we have the Convergence. The Convergence is a really good shotgun we got from DLC 4, and when you shoot enemies, you get triple the pellet count. So instead of times 4, it's going to be times 12. This thing is awesome for mobbing, but not as great for bossing in my opinion. As for a non-DLC alternative, I do recommend the Hellwalker. Speaking of Hellwalker, we have that. Recently, this got a huge buff and is now one of the best shotguns in the game. Now, it only comes in fire element, but with Amara, you have infusion, and that means you can make your guns do fire damage, shock damage, or corrosive damage. So the Hellwalker is going to be really good for any situation. Some more backburners, and a low-level plumage. Now, this is only going to be for rocket jumping, you don't need it, but a non-DLC version is going to be the Ruby's Wrath. We have Sandhawks, and now the Sandhawks are really good for bossing. One thing for Amara is she's a goddess at mobbing, but for bossing, it's a little more tricky. So the Sandhawk is a nice bossing weapon. Another Complex Root, more Old Gods, more P-Nades, and a Launchpad, Cutpurse Launchpad. This will be for regenerating ammo if you need it. It doesn't really happen very often, but if you happen to run out, you can use this. Finally, a Snowdrip for getting around maps. Alright, that's it for the gear, so let's go over the skill tree. We're not doing a melee build, so most of Green Tree is not going to be involved, so we just go for the capstones for Orange and Blue Tree. First off, we have Do Harm, only 1 point here. Now, if I was using Phase Cast or Phase Slam more often, then I would put more points into the skill. But we're going to be using Tie Set Bind. 3 on Fast Hands, more reload speed, weapon swap speed, and mode switch speed. 1 point in Violent Tapestry for getting rush stacks, and also we spread our elements better. Alacrity, that's going to give us a lot more reload speed. The final 2 points of the build went into Transcend. After you activate your action skill, you're going to get bonus accuracy and crit damage. Restless, that will give you a lot more cooldown. Ascendant, all we care about here is getting a little more out of Soul Sap. From Rest, that will give us more fire rate and charge speed. Now that's going to be great for the Complex Root and the Flipper. Laid Bare, if you damage the enemy with your action skill, you get more damage. Wrath, this will give you more gun damage, and if you activate your action skill, you get even more gun damage. Only 1 point in Remnant. Basically, when you kill an enemy with an action skill or your gun, you're going to send out a projectile of your overkill damage. Now, when you combine this with Ties to Bind, you can send out a Remnant Ball that's literally going to do millions of damage. It'll basically one-shot enemies. Awakening, you get more out of your rush decks. For the capstone, we have Avatar. When you have a full action skill, you can use your action skill twice. For the augment, all we care about is Soul Sap. When we grab the enemy with Ties to Bind, that will send us healing. So if I'm in the middle of a reload or trying to run around, this will make sure I don't die. Now, some bosses cannot be picked up with the Phase Grasp. For example, Grave Ward, Runer, Psycho Reaver. So I do recommend putting on Reverberation. Alright, now for Orange Tree, I don't recommend Anima because it will increase damage over time on you. Steady Hands, more handling and accuracy. Only 2 points in Infusion to move down the tree, and that will convert a portion of your elemental damage to your attuned element. Now, this skill might confuse people, so think about like the Hellwalker. It's only fire. But if I put on Corrosive here, 16% of the Hellwalker's fire damage will not be corrosive. This is actually a pretty cool skill because you can make guns multi-purpose. Now, most of the time I put on Shock to break shields and have my gun just finish off the enemy. We have Tempest, more elemental damage and shock damage. Illuminated Fist, that's going to make our melees elemental. Now, we're not doing a melee build, but this does synergize with the Life Tap skill. That means I can heal back to full HP by just punching the enemy. 3 in Wildfire to move down the tree. This means you can spread elemental effects. Now, this is great for stacking the consecutive hits Anoint, and also stacking your Harmageddon. We have Dread. You get more gun damage when the enemy's phase grasped, and when you kill them, your gun is instantly reloaded. Indiscriminate. You definitely want this skill because, for whatever reason, it gets Mayhem scaling. What will happen is when you shoot the enemy, your bullets will ricochet to other enemies. Because a lot of our guns are multi-pellet, you will be ricocheting bullets all over the battlefield. Deep Well, for your elemental weapons, you get more mag size. Only 1 point in Catharsis. Again, we want to spread damage over time to stack our consecutive hits Anoint and activate Harmageddon. So when you kill the enemy, they explode to your attuned element. Oops, I accidentally made a mistake, so I meant Sustainment, not Life Tab. So that's going to work with your Illuminated Fist. So when you do elemental damage, you will get Lifesteal. You only need 1 point here because it will keep you at full HP. We have Conflux. When you apply a status effect to your enemy, they have a chance to take another damage over time. That's going to be good for stacking consecutive hits and activating Harmageddon. Finally, for Orange, we have Forceful Expression. That will give you bonus elemental damage on your action skill element. For the action skill, Ties to Bind. When using Phase Grasp, you will link your enemies and they can all take damage. So basically, you link a bunch of enemies, and then you can easily spray them down with a few bullets. For Green Tree, we have 3 on Personal Space. That will give you bonus damage the closer you are to the enemy. And finally, 2 on Clarity just to get to our Corrosive Augment. Clarity is not going to help a whole lot because we already have all the healing, but you will constantly regen HP. If you activate your action skill, that gets doubled. Alright, that's it for these skill trees, so let's go ahead and show off the build. We're on Mayhem 10, here's the modifiers I have. Check out the gears, so we're going to be focusing on fire. So yeah, fire and radiation action skill end. So yeah, let's go ahead and infuse Shock 2 to break shields. So take that off, there we go. So we link them together, kill that guy, and yeah, you can see Indiscriminate killed that guy over there. Pick them up, link them together, go for the shot, they're all dead. And look at all these damage over times happening, which means we're stacking consecutive hits so good right now. Now for the light show, let's go ahead and pick you up. Nobody to link, but that's fine. You can see Indiscriminate killed that guy. This guy resists fire damage, but you don't, so I kind of want to go for you, link you together. And there we go. Okay, all these guys here, link them together. Ties to Bind, they're all dead. Yeah, Ties to Bind is ridiculous. It's been one of the metas on Amara since day 1, and it's still pretty much the meta on Amara. Now for the Monarch, and now the Monarch's a little bit overkill for mobbing. It's more of a bossing weapon, but yeah, it will waste everything in your path. So pick you up. Like, we're not even getting much out of consecutive hits right now because they're dying so fast. So yeah, the Monarch's more of a bossing weapon. Alright, try out the Flipper, pick you up. I think you guys get the point now. Pick him up with Ties to Bind and spray him down. Alright, let's go ahead and take on a boss. For Trot, he does resist fire, but believe it or not, we're still using the Hellwalker. We are Infused Shock, so we have the Backburner. So action skill and shock and radiation. Now he can't be picked up, so let's go ahead and do Reverberation. That. Just in case the other one missed. And yeah, you can see the damage the Hellwalker does is ridiculous. And your boss is dead. We're at Tron, we're going to do the Monarch and the Backburner. And now we did attune to fire because we're doing full fire damage. So bipod mode, head down, go for the debuff. That will apply our Laid Bear. That one missed, try it again. Aim for about the neck for the Backburner. And let's do some Monarch. Spray the chest. And your boss is dead. Not a bad kill. I think that's going to be it for the video. So like I said, it's a very fun build. And honestly, you can use a lot of items for this build. It doesn't have to be only what I recommended. Like I said before, if you do want to download it for yourself, I will link it in the description. And again, that save is going to be in PC format. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and of course, if you did, then please be sure to leave a like, because that'd be awesome. And if you guys really enjoyed it, be sure to sub. You guys have a great day, and I will see you all later. Peace out.